the digital quicksand that's swallowing your soul. Your phone has become a weapon against your own mind. In 2025, 69% of remote employees report digital tool burnout, and it's not hard to understand why. Every notification sound triggers a small hit of dopamine in your brain. This chemical reward system evolved to help our ancestors survive by making them pay attention to important changes in their environment. But now that same system keeps you trapped in a cycle where you crave the next ping, the next like, the next update. Your brain literally adapts to expect these constant interruptions, making sustained attention feel uncomfortable and difficult. When you switch from checking your email to scrolling social media to responding to a text message, you're not just moving between tasks. You're asking your brain to completely restructure its focus multiple times per minute. This constant switching creates what researchers identify as attention residue. Part of your mental energy remains stuck on the previous task, even after you've moved to something new. Think about how your smartphone pinging disrupts your ability to fall asleep at night. Research shows that 74% of people report that sleep affects their mental health, and this fragmented attention follows the same pattern throughout your waking hours. The deeper parts of yourself, the parts that hold your values and authentic desires, require sustained attention to access. Attention residue acts like static that drowns out these quieter, but more important signals. Social media platforms employ teams of neuroscientists and behavioral economists whose entire job is keeping you externally focused. The infinite scroll wasn't designed by accident. The way your feed shows you content that triggers comparison, envy, or outrage isn't a glitch. These features exist because platforms profit when you stay engaged, and you stay engaged when you're looking outside yourself for validation, information, or emotional stimulation. The algorithm learns that you're more likely to engage with content that makes you feel inadequate or anxious about missing out. It feeds you carefully curated glimpses into other people's lives, designed to make you question your own choices and priorities. This external focus becomes addictive because it temporarily relieves the discomfort of looking inward, but it also prevents you from developing the internal compass you need to navigate your own life. Research published in 2025 shows a direct correlation between hours spent on connected devices and reported levels of anxiety and life dissatisfaction. People who spend more than 4 hours daily on smartphones and social media report feeling 40% less satisfied with their lives compared to those who limit their usage to under 2 hours. The correlation holds true across age groups, income levels, and geographic locations. What makes this particularly concerning is that constant connectivity doesn't just make you anxious in the moment. It trains your nervous system to expect stimulation, making ordinary moments feel boring or uncomfortable. The quiet spaces where self-reflection happens naturally start feeling like voids that need to be filled. You lose the ability to sit with your own thoughts without reaching for external input. The people achieving remarkable things in 2025 understand something most people miss. They recognize that attention is their most valuable resource, and they guard it accordingly. They create digital boundaries not to be antisocial, but to preserve the mental space where their best thinking happens. They schedule specific times for checking messages and social media, rather than allowing these activities to interrupt their focus throughout the day. These high performers often describe a phenomenon that seems counterintuitive. The less connected they are to their devices, the more connected they feel to the people and work that matter most to them. They can have deeper conversations because their attention isn't fragmented. They can pursue long-term goals because they're not constantly distracted by short-term stimulations. They can make decisions based on their own values, rather than reacting to whatever external pressure feels most urgent. The paradox of our current moment is striking. We have access to more information, more connection, and more opportunities for communication than any generation in human history. Yet surveys consistently show that people feel more isolated, more anxious, and more disconnected from their sense of purpose than previous generations. The tools designed to connect us have actually created barriers between us and the parts of ourselves that matter most. Breaking free from digital quicksand requires recognizing that your phone and social media apps are designed to capture and monetize your attention. Every feature, every notification, every algorithm update serves the goal of keeping you engaged with external content rather than focused on your internal development. Understanding this isn't about becoming a technology pessimist. It's about becoming a conscious consumer of digital tools rather than their unconscious victim. The process starts with creating small pockets of unconnected time throughout your day. This might mean keeping your phone in another room during meals, or setting specific hours where you don't check any devices. Initially, this will feel uncomfortable because your brain has adapted to expect constant stimulation. But within weeks, you'll notice that the quiet spaces start feeling natural again rather than empty. During these disconnected periods, pay attention to what thoughts and feelings arise without external input. Notice what concerns, ideas, or desires surface when you're not immediately reaching for distraction. These moments of internal awareness are where you begin to reconnect with your authentic self, rather than the version of yourself that reacts to whatever external stimulus feels most urgent. The goal isn't to eliminate technology from your life entirely. Digital tools can enhance your ability to focus on yourself when used intentionally. The goal is to shift from being reactive to being intentional about when and how you engage with these tools. This means choosing specific times to check messages, rather than allowing notifications to interrupt your focus throughout the day. Guard your attention as your most valuable resource. Try 1 notification-free hour, right now, and notice what happens when your mind isn't constantly pulled in different directions. The people thriving in 2025 aren't the most connected online. They're the most connected to themselves.